my
Mm-hmm.
last company.
Mm.
Yes.
The last company.
Yes.
Okay, so
Past.
the past
Past.
company. Okay, so let me
Yes.
just understand what you're trying to say to me. In other words, you and your friends had discussions and conversations related to the past Citibank companies which you and them had worked for.
Yes.
Ah, okay. No, that's wonderful. So you guys are just
Yes.
catching up.
Yes.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Catching up.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And um um some of the uh colleagues
Mm-hmm.
uh, left left the Citibank
Mm.
uh and joined the new company
Mm.
like DBS.
TBS.
Yes.
Mm.
Um which is the Singapore bank.
Ah.
Yes.
Mm. So in other
Yeah.
words, they left Citibank for another company, which can also be regarded as a Singaporean bank.
Yes.
Ah. Mm-hmm. Okay. By the
Yeah.
way, I love hearing you speak to me about anything in general, because I get to have a better idea of the progress we have been making, as well as what I can do to help supplement on those progress, and what I can do to help improve your English more and more. So you can, right now, for the next 5 minutes, you can talk to me about anything in general that comes to your mind, so I can have a better idea, because I'm listening very carefully, like trying to find any mistakes, any
Oh,
errors, so that I can use that to my advantage, to help improve your English, because I do things to see results. I don't do things to
yeah.
waste your time. I don't do things to waste my time. I do things to see results, and those results will be seen when you and your friends decide to have English conversations. They'll be like, wow, you're speaking good English. Where have you been learning English? And they'll be like, ESL Academy Care. That's learning English at. So it's a good, I would say, like, it's a good thing, as well as you basically become a representative.
Okay, representative.
Yes, of the good job we have been doing, and the good job which we are going to continue doing. So that's the whole idea. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I
Yeah.
need you to be as creative as possible to basically come up with anything you want us to discuss, or anything you want to talk to me about, because at the end of the day, you might find yourself in the
Yes.
near future having
Yeah.
to come up with English topics of discussions with people you meet when you travel to other countries, or when you are having random conversations with your friends, your work colleagues, or anybody in general.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I would like to um share
Mm,
my one of my friends um who is in India now.
mm,
And she told me um uh she yesterday
mm,
she went to a small town.
mm.
uh uh
Now remember, May, the other thing
yeah.
that you can talk about is the medium of communication. So you will say something such as, my
Yeah.
friend told me this and that, line chat, or she called you, or she video uh, she video Skyped you, or so
Oh,
anything to explain what medium or means of
oh,
communication you guys have?
yes. Because she post a picture on
Mm.
the Instagram.
Ah.
Um, so uh have I had a little chat with
Mm.
her on the platform of
Oh.
Instagram.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she told me that
Mm.
yesterday she went to a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, this small town could not people in this town could
Mm.
not um, drink
Ah.
um, yeah, so
Could not drink
she
what?
had
Water or alcohol or what?
uh,
Wine. Oh.
alcohol.
Oh, shame.
Yeah.
Why not?
So so every um um if people need to drink alcohol,
Mm.
uh they should um a complicate
Mm.
um uh per permission permission
Mm.
uh yeah a paper
Ah,
uh yes
are you
when she
serious?
when she got the paper, then she could buy the alcohol drink.
Wow. So
Yeah,
they have to. Uh-huh. So she.
so she spent a whole afternoon and night
Mm.
to uh uh uh, to uh to um
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm. Mm-hmm.
to
May.
application.
Oh, attain. Uh-huh.
Yes. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, attend application approval. Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she got the approval,
Mm.
um, it is 9 o'clock in the
Whoa.
night. Yeah, so finally she could um go to the store and buy the alcohol drink.
Mm. Interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very awkward.
Al awkward.
Sorry, awkward and
Uh,
uncommon.
oh, yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Only in this small town
Hmm.
um have this special rules.
Hmm.
Yes.
And this small town, is it in the northern, is it perhaps in the northern side of India, or the southern side, or western side, or eastern side of India?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, yes. Um, she only told me it is a small town.
Hmm.
Yeah, and people in local
Hmm.
when um the travelers got the approval, the local
Hmm.
person um have have the chance to buy more buy a lots of drink.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Very
so the,
interesting.
yes. So they they like the people visit
Hmm.
here because the traveler could got the approval.
Hmm. And your
Yes.
friend, is she there on vacation, or is she there on business? Is it work
Uh
related or just personal? Uh-huh.
the vacation.
On vacation. Whoa. So she decided to go to India on vacation. Wow. She must be very uh open-minded, because like for me,
Oh,
like
yes.
India would be the last place I would choose to go and visit. I'll be like, it's
Yeah,
such a waste of money. India's so dirty and it's
yes.
a poor country. Why would I go there unless it's for business?
Yeah, because she think India is a mystery country.
Hmm. In what way? Is it in what
In
way makes it so mysterious?
um it's uh we can't imagine
Hmm.
many things like every people um shower in the river,
Oh.
something like that.
Hmm.
Many things are we can't imagine.
Hmm. So that alone fascinated her. It fascinated her enough to go there.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm. And has she ever been to Brazil?
No.
Hmm.
Maybe Brazil is very far away from
Hmm.
Taiwan.
Yes.
Uh, yes. Um, we have to um, transport like thir- 30 hours, I guess.
Goodness. Hmm.
Yes.
So.
So
Mhm.
it is the farthest country
Hmm.
from Taiwan.
I can also imagine that, because like if we would like have a map over here, then Africa would be like over here, and Brazil will be in the southern side of America. So Africa is over
Yeah.
here, and Taiwan will be like over there. So it's far
Yes.
better, much more convenient to travel to South Africa than to have to travel to Brazil. Oh, I see
Yes.
where you're coming from. Yes, that's a good point. Yes.
Yes.
And what countries do you plan on visiting someday? Say, for example, you decide to take leave from work and you want to travel to another country.
Yes. I planned to travel to Japan.
Japan
Uh, yes, on December.
in December.
Um, December 23rd.
Ah, okay, on the
Yes.
23rd of December. I'm going to mark
Yes.
this on my calendar because I'm going to miss you.
Oh, yes.
For how long?
Until uh um 9 days.
Okay, until
Until
um, perhaps we would say
20
perhaps the 1st of January.
uh uh thir- 30 31st
Oh, okay,
of
31st
December.
of December. So it's like 1 week.
Yes.
So what inspired you? What inspired or what motivated you to decide that Japan is the ideal country which you would like to visit?
Oh, because uh uh me in uh with my friends
Mm,
uh want to go to the ski,
mm,
and Japan is the most convenient
mm,
country.
mm-hmm,
Yes. Um uh because um um people go to ski, there are um uh some choice
mm,
like Korea,
Mm,
Japan, China.
mm,
Yeah, but
mm,
Japan is the most um, convenience country for us.
mm. So when you say
Yes.
skiing, are you referring to ice skiing or
Uh, Pardon?
when you mentioned skiing in Japan,
Yes.
are you referring to
Yes.
ice skiing?
Ice.
Ah,
What?
ice.
Ice skiing. Oh, okay, okay.
Is that what you're referring to?
Uh, I play the snowboard.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, snowboarding. Uh,
Yes, or snowboarding.
oh, I never knew that it actually snows in Japan. It's my first time
Oh,
to.
it's in the north of Japan.
Mm,
Um, it snow um um when November
mm,
Japan start to snow.
mm.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Because like countries such as Norway have
Yes.
an amazing scenery view of the northern lights.
Yes. Oh,
Hmm.
yes. A Mura.
Yes. Uh-huh. Say that again. Mi-
A Mura. A Mo. A Mora. Uh, 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 Aurora.
Yes, Aurora. That's the word.
Aurora.
Yes, very good. Yes, yes, that's right. Yes, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, some of my friends um is in Iceland
Hmm.
now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, um they want to go to see the
Hmm.
aurora.
Yes. It's an amazing view to witness. Like honestly, I've never been there before, but if I
Mm.
were to travel to any European country, I would decide to go to Iceland or England or even Norway just to witness it for myself and to take as many photos as I possibly can.
Yes.
Yes,
It's very
even Finland
beautiful.
or Canada.
Oh, Canada. Oh,
Hmm.
yes. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes. All right.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
been
Uh-huh.
to
Uh-huh.
I never been to Canada, Iceland and Norway.
Okay, so these countries actually speak English. So if you
Yeah.
decide to go there, you are going to like it because like basically you are going to be able to communicate to people in English at the restaurant or at the hotel. So it's going to be very
Yeah.
convenient for you if you ever decide to visit any any countries in that side of the world. It's going to be very, very beneficial for you. And I would definitely recommend that you do visit some of those countries because if you do, then I get to get some photos from you online chat, photos of the beautiful country, of the aurora, and everything else that has got to do with the northern lights.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yes.
next year.
Maybe next year?
Yes.
Ah, yes, indeed. Yes. So, by the way, I forgot. Like, honestly, I was in a hurry last week when you and I
Oh,
had our class. I forgot to write down where you and I stopped. Um,
oh,
in terms of
oh,
culture shock, I'm not quite sure whether we completed the lesson or not.
oh, not yet.
Not yet, eh? So, do you think
Yes.
we stopped at page number? Because I know that we did complete the vocabulary words, and you did.
yeah.
Yes, you did answer these questions. Yes, I can see from the screenshot that you
Yeah.
did. So let me show you over here. Okay, so here we are. So what I'm looking at over here is the fact that
yes.
complete the questionnaires. So, and then afterwards, I don't know where we stopped. I think we must have stopped at page number 7.
Oh, this page never, we never,
This page never, we never
we never,
covered
we
it.
never covered it.
Covered? Yes, we never covered it, or we never completed it.
Oh, okay.
Or
We
we
never
did, yes,
completed.
or we did not get the time to read.
Oh, we did not get the time to read.
Yes, that's right. So as you know by now, on page number 3, we had come across some vocabulary words. The first one was insecure, meaning not feeling at all confident. The other one was disoriented, means confused.
Yeah.
And then in a sentence, you could say it can be difficult to move and live in a new environment, especially when this new environment is a foreign country. In an unfamiliar setting, you are likely to feel insecure and disoriented. You have to deal with different values, behaviors, and social customs of a different culture. And then when we got to page number 4, we came across 3 other vocabulary words. The first one was perceive, means to understand. Unsuitable means not having the right qualities for a particular person. Acceptance simply means the process of allowing someone to become part of a group or society and of treating them in the same way as the other members.
Yes.
Yes. And then when we got to page number 5, we had a discussion about the importance of maintaining an open mind when you are visiting a new country, because this is the time to keep your mind wide open and be willing to accept any differences. You will not survive for too long if you perceive anything that is different as unsuitable and negative. By not making judgments, you'll be more objective, and it will ease your acceptance into a different culture. And over here, you answered these lovely questions. So next time, when you are having a discussion with someone who has had to experience culture shocks, you can ask them questions such as, have you ever been confused by something that happens regularly in another culture? Or you can even ask your friend who is in India, what are some different cultures that you have difficulties understanding in India? Are there any specific customs or rituals that you find hard to accept in India? If she says yes, then you could ask her like, that's interesting. Can you explain to me which specific customs or rituals you have found very hard to accept?
Yes.
Yes. And then on page number 7 over here, I'm going to go ahead and read, and you are going, let me see, page number 8 has got no questions. So I can read page number 7 and you can read page number 8.
Okay.
All right, so it's different. Okay, so what is different? Never use your own cultural perspective to interpret the behavior of those from a different culture. Americans like to use "what's up" as a way to say hi, and will sometimes respond to question with just a nod. This, however, can seem strange and rude to a foreigner who might wonder why Americans do not give a proper response.
Okay.
Yes. So I want you to please explain the word perspective. What does it mean in your own words?
Okay. Is is the thoughts is the thoughts you have in mind. about the culture.
Different thoughts one has in mind and ways of looking at other cultures from a different angle.
Yes.
From a different angle. All right, fantastic. And so culture, the word culture itself, how would you explain what is like what's a culture? Like what?
Culture is um some culture is like when when people live together, they have the same thoughts, the same way to live.
Very good. So when people live together, they have similar or same thoughts, customs, beliefs, behaviors, and ways of doing things that have been passed down to them from generation. Am I right to say that it has been passed on to them?
Yes.
Generations. All right. And the word rude, when someone is rude, what are we trying to say? Like, what does it mean to be rude?
Rude is um too straight and to be strict or impolite. Oh yes.
Yes. And response, like when we talk about a response, what are we referring to?
Is the feedback from the others.
From the other party.
Party. Oh yes.
Or person. Nicely done. All right. So do you perhaps have any questions before we continue?
The word interpret. I forgot the meanings.
Yes, yes, indeed. That's a very good question, you know, because like to interpret something means to basically explain your own understanding of a topic or or anything in general. To explain your own understanding. Yes. So it's like you're trying to explain what you think something means, but you are using your own mental intellect to explain in your own words what it means when something is the way it is, or you get what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's like the translate.
Yes, translate, but in this case, you have to bear in mind that the word translate simply means, to translate. Translate is to change a word or sentence from one language to another. Whereas to interpret, okay, hold on, let's just go back quickly. Let's go over here. Okay. All right.
Interpret.
Okay.
Interpret.
Yes. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, one more time.
Interpret.
Interpret.
Yes, interpret. So it's basically to explain the meaning of informations or words, whereas to translate means to change a word or sentence from one language to another. So your answer is partially correct and partially incorrect.
Okay.
Yes, because translate, on the other hand, it's to express the sense of a word in another language or text.
Yes.
Yes. For example, as of right now, we are not interpreting anything, but we are basically just translating these sentences from English to Chinese as to enable you to have a bit better understanding of what we are talking about.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Fantastic. Any other questions?
No.
All right. So page number 8, it's your turn to read.
Okay. Learn the culture. Grasp. To understand a concept or idea. A culture is full of layers that have accumulated through its history. If you think you have understood a culture just by grasping its surface, you could run into lots of problems. Take your time and dig through the different layers until you really understand the social and historical context of situations.
Very well read, eh? May your pronunciation has improved, eh? It's really getting better and better. I could not even find any mistakes, any errors. I could not whatsoever. So, and May, when you are reading, you are not only reading to understand what you're reading, but you're reading to memorize. To memorize. Yes. Okay, you tell me, what does the word memorize mean?
Memorize. Think about remember something.
Yes, that's correct. So in other words, what I'm trying to say to you is, just because you have read this paragraph correctly without any mistakes does not mean that's good enough, because in life, when you achieve one goal, you should not be settling for just that one specific goal. In other words, it's not really it's not necessary to become complacent. Okay, let me write it here for you to see, because some words, even for me myself, and I don't need to teach you things that are not correct.
Complacent.
So you don't need to be complacent because you have achieved one thing. You should always look for new things that can challenge you, that can help you build your skills. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. So just because you read fluently, and very well done to you, bravo, does not mean you should become complacent. But in other words, you can try to memorize what you have read here so that you can also give another person an advice. So say, for example, a person says to you, I don't know, visit that country because blah, 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 blah. Well, you can say to them, well, I understand what you're saying. You don't want to visit that country, and it's fair enough. But I want you to know that a culture is full of layers that I have accumulated through its history. If you think you have understood a culture just by grasping its surface, you could run into lots of problems. So you would say to them something such as, well, I would advise you to basically just take your time and dig through the different layers until you really understand the social and historical context of situations of that specific country, which you would say that you want to stay away from and you want to visit.
Yes.
Yes. So you could use these sentences to basically have English conversations with people or debates, but do it in a way that does not cause disagreements or tensions, because the last thing we want is tensions and disagreements. So you'll be like, oh, yeah, well, that's a good point. I agree with you. Yeah, visiting another country such as the one you have mentioned, it can be difficult. It can be also unbearable, but I would advise you to blah, 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 blah. So you're also introducing your own opinion. You're expressing your own opinion without causing any tension, any disagreements, any quarrels, any arguments. So the conversation can basically just flow simultaneously and creates a positive atmosphere, positive environment where you and the other person can remain friends forever.
Yes.
All right, May. Fantastic. So, May, do you have any questions? Maybe there are some words or sentences you did not understand.
Historical context. I know the historical means, but the context, I'm not quite sure.
So basically, when we talk about context, we are talking about everything else that forms one thing. So say, for example, if I were to say to a friend of mine, if I were to say to them, wow, I've got a great student, her name is May, she speaks good English, and her English is getting better and better and better. Well, what I'm doing right there is I'm describing you out of context. But if I were to describe or talk about you in the context of who you are, then I would say something such as, wow, I've got this lovely student. Her name is May. She works at Citibank. She lives in Taiwan. She loves to travel. She loves English. She's got so and so amount of cats. Last weekend, she went out with her friends, and they went to a restaurant that was semi-Italian, semi-shopping center. So I would say things into context, not out of context. And yes, that's right. And the other thing is this paragraph right here. If I were to only read, or if I were to only read this part, take your time and dig through layers until you really understand. If I were to only read that part, it means that I am reading that sentence out of the context of the full sentence right here. Yes, that's right. Because you have to bear in mind that if we go to your favorite dictionary over here, which I'm going to refresh and come back to it later on, you're going to realize that the word context over here, it simply means the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea, and in terms of which it can be fully understood or assessed. So in other words, So in other words, the context, it's basically what makes something become complete. It makes it become complete, or it makes it become whole. So it does not have to remain incomplete. And in a sentence, you would say something such as, let's see, in sentences. Okay, so could you please go ahead and read definition number 1, A, B, C, and definition number 2, A, B, C.
Okay. Definition number 1, the words that are used with a certain word or phrase and that help to explain its meaning. To really know a word, you must be able to use it in context. In a sentence with other words. If the words that someone has said are taken or quoted out of context, they are repeated without explaining the situation in which they were said to, so that their meaning is changed. When taken out of context, his comments sound cruel, but he was really only joking. The actor climbed sheet being quoted out of context. The situation in which something happens, the group of conditions that exist where and when something happens. We need to look at the event within the larger, broader context of world history. The book puts these events in their proper historical and social contexts. We need to consider these events in context.
Okay. Talk to me.
Oh, I think the word context
Mm.
is um, similar is is similar to definition number 2.
Yes, that's right. Perfect. Very good observation. Yes. So now over here, we are talking about historical context of situations. So in other words, we have to take our time to understand why something is the way it is, instead of just saying that it is the way it is because it's bad. It is the way it is because it's unacceptable. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable around it. That's not enough, but we have to ask ourselves, why is it the way it is? We have to go back to history and try to basically recap what made it the way it is today. But we have to basically look at what happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year, and decades ago or centuries ago. Let me write it here for you to see. So we have to look at what happened decades ago or centuries ago before we judge it for what it is.
Yes.
Yes. All right, fantastic. Okay, any other questions before we continue?
Um, I think it's okay
It's okay.
with this page.
And you have also discovered that to grasp something means to understand a concept or idea.
Yes.
But you also have to bear in mind that that definition is only relevant to our lesson.
Yes.
In real life, you can also grasp something such as me. I'm grasping this piece of art in my hand. I'm grasping it.
Oh, yes.
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 In other words, you're holding it very tight and you're not letting it go.
Okay.
And okay, so tell me, May, have you ever assumed something about a culture, but found out later that you are wrong?
Um, mm, um, Let me think about it. Um,
So maybe about South Africa, my country, maybe you had your own perception about South Africa until you met me. And then when you met me, and then you were like, oh, okay, South Africa is different. Or maybe, I don't know, anything.
oh,
There's no right or
yes.
wrong answer. The reason why I say that is because when Cherry, Roy, and Ringo came to South Africa, they were like, whoa, this is not what we expected. South Africa looks very similar to Germany. It looks very similar to some European countries. But back home in Taiwan, when we saw South Africa in magazines, in newspapers, and on TV, it looked very bad. It looked like a jungle. It looked uncivilized. And then we came down here and then we were shocked So they had a culture shock because it's not what they expected. So maybe you also had like a similar situation where you went to visit another country and then you are culture shocked by what you saw because it's not what you expected.
Yes. In the past, I think South Africa is full of many kinds of animals. Yes. Then when I met you, you showed me lots of picture about South Africa, and it is a beautiful city, and like as you said, like the European country.
So it can be compared to some European countries instead of a jungle.
A jungle, yes.
Or a bush. Or an Amazon. Fantastic. Yes. All right. So tell me something. Did you get in trouble because of this perception of yours? This perception of you thinking that South Africa was blah 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 blah. Did you get into trouble because of it, or okay? So if you got into trouble, how did you resolve the problem? I don't think you got into trouble with me, but maybe you got into trouble with somebody else. I don't know.
I think there is not there is not there is not there isn't get in trouble.
Okay. All right. So in other words, I think there isn't. Oh, okay. So this sentence, we can let it be in the past tense, I think. So, oh yes, the other thing is I want you to always use some of the keywords, that are in your questions into your answers. For example, over here we have assumed.
Okay.
And then, okay, so in this case, we would say something such as, the question is, did you get into trouble because of it? So you could say something such as, so it's like a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Yes, so you would say
no.
something such as, nope, I didn't get into trouble because of it. Yes. So do you think it is important to spend time in understanding a different culture or not?
Yes. I think it is important to spend time in understanding a different culture, because I think people should respect all the people should respect their own culture. Everybody should pay respect to other culture, which varies to their own.
So we would also say native.
Native.
Yes, native.
Native.
Yes, that's right. Native culture simply means something that is from a different country or something that is different to yours. And to give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about, native means born in a particular place. Definition number 1A. Definition number 1B says used to refer to the place where a person was born and raised. Definition number 2A means belonging to a person since birth or childhood. Definition number 2B simply means naturally as an ability, quality, etc. that someone has. Definition number 3A, produced, living or existing naturally in a particular region. Definition number 3B, refer to the place or type of place where a plant or animal normally or naturally lives. Definition number 4, of or relating to a group of people who are living in an area such as North America or Africa when a new group of usually European people arrived. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to come back to that page. So that's your answer right there. Yes. Okay, fantastic. So let's go ahead and practice having an English conversation. I'm going to go ahead and ask you the same questions, and you're going to go ahead and read your answers. Okay, so May, have you ever assumed something about a culture but found out later that you were wrong?
In the past, I think I had assumed South Africa to be a country full of animals roaming all over the place attacking humans, until I had met you and saw pictures of how beautiful South Africa is, as well as how it can be compared to some European countries instead of a jungle or an Amazon.
Okay, can we say Amazon?
Amazon.
Yes, that's right. And did you get in trouble because of it? If so, how did you resolve the problem?
Nope, I didn't get into trouble because of it.
Okay, so do you think it is important to spend time in understanding a different culture or not?
Yes, I think it is important to spend time in understanding a different culture because I believe everybody should pay respect to other native culture, which varies to their own.
Fantastic. Okay, there we go. All right, so page number 9, culture shock. Okay, so looks like we have come to the end of our lesson. So when you come back to class next week, we can continue. Oh, yes.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, right?
Yes.
My bad. All right. Oh, yes, because yesterday you were unable to come to class, so we had to postpone our class to today.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, culture shock. It's page number 9. Yes, page number 9. All right, fantastic. Oh, yes, a screenshot of this one here. I almost forgot. Okay, there we go. So, May, do you perhaps have any questions, any suggestions? You know, I never get offended. I don't get offended when students give me suggestions and ways in which I can help improve the service. So do you have any suggestions at all?
No, I think everything's okay.
Everything's okay. With a smile on your
Yes.
face. Yes, I believe that you're telling the truth because you're smiling whilst you're saying that. So that's fantastic. And yes, the other thing I wanted to ask you is, can you perhaps tell me in advance, like, how many credits are you going to be renewing for the month of November, the 15th of November to the 15th of December?
Okay. Um, in it start in um 16th November, right? Oh, 15. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
I think it's eight.
8 credits.
Eight class.
That's perfect.
Yes,
8
eight
classes. Okay, I am going to inform Cherry, and I'm also going to ask you for your help. Would you please also help Cherry to process everything? Because you see, the problem is the 10th of November falls on Saturday. Of November falls on Saturday. So
Yes.
Cherry would not be able to help any of us on Saturday because she spends quality time with her family. She has not told me anything. She has not informed me anything. But I just wanted to remind you because, like, the last thing we need is inconvenience, because we do not want to rush you or cause you to become burnt out or become worried. It's just like okay, never mind. Let's forget about that. But you know what to do. I hate having these financial discussions. I prefer to basically allow everything to be done by the student so that Cherry can have enough time to also process everything sooner and quicker. Maybe you never know. Maybe she might be able to do everything before Friday or today or tomorrow. It's all up to her. But she's a great person. And if you ever have any questions, any suggestions, please send me a text message on line chat, and I'll be very happy to help and assist you whenever and wherever I can.
Okay.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, so that's it for today's class. May you have a lovely good night rest, and I look forward to having you back in class tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, May. Anytime for you, May.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.